Hi, I'm Savannah Guthrie, and you are about to meet three Comcast colleagues whose lives were greatly affected by the work of the United Way. Each of their stories exemplifies the incredible ways that the United Way can help save lives, transform communities, and offer peace of mind.
I give because
I give because
I give because I have received so much.
In 2007, Nikia Green was 7 months pregnant with her second child when her 2-year-old son D'Artagnan suddenly collapsed.
We rushed him to the Children's Hospital, where they immediately started to work on him in the emergency room and then sent him up to the ICU.
Pediatricians at Connecticut Children's Medical Center diagnosed D'Artagnan with the potentially deadly bacterial infection called MRSA.
His vital organs started to shut down. They weren't sure there was anything else that they can do, and at that point all we could do was pray.
The stress of the situation took its toll on Nikia, and her body progressed into preterm labor.
I was at a different hospital from my son and delivered my daughter via emergency C-section, and that delivery didn't go very well.
United Way was able to help Nikia by supporting Children's Medical Center programs and resources that helped her family cope.
We provided her as many resources as possible in a safe and caring environment, whether it was a social worker working with her and her family, whether it was education, making sure that Nikia understood what was happening to her son while she was delivering her other child.
Having the support of the United Way is, without measure, the greatest gift that can ever be given.
Thanks to the United Way and the Connecticut Children's Medical Center, today Keziah and D'Artagnan are 4 and 6 years old and healthy and strong.
That could not have been possible without the support of the United Way.
Back in 2001, it was a typical workday for Chuck Quayle, father of 3, when his wife Leanne called to tell him their house was on fire.
you hear the sirens, you see the smoke coming above the trees. Obviously you're worrying about, did Leanne, my wife, get out? Were the kids out?
When Chuck arrived home, he saw his house burning to the ground.
You kind of have an empty feeling because, you know, pictures that you can't replace are burned now. And any memories that you have that you can't replace, you know, like the wife's wedding dress.
Volunteers from the American Red Cross, a funding recipient of the United Way, escorted Chuck and Leanne to the local library and provided coffee and a safe space to review their needs.
They actually called our insurance company for us, and then they gave us 3 nights worth of hotel stays. And I said, thanks a lot for that, but you know, I have dogs that I don't want to leave. So next thing you know, they called the hotel and they got permission to bring the dogs in too.
We were able to help Chuck, we were able to provide assistance because we have caring volunteers and caring staffs that don't want someone to go without that help.
Although he had not been a donor before, today Chuck is proud to support the United Way and its affiliates like the American Red Cross.
I never used to give because I never thought that I would need any help like that. Even though you're giving money to the United Way, you're giving peace of mind for a few days to people who just had a disaster in their life, and you can't put a price tag on that.
Lisa Hall had donated blood for years, but she wanted to do more after meeting a 6-year-old leukemia survivor. So she reached out through the United Way to sign up to be a bone marrow donor through the Bonfils Blood Center in Denver, Colorado.
I have 2 boys that were about that same age, and I thought, you know, if they ever needed some help, I would hope that somebody would be there for my children.
Lisa turned out to be a 100% match for Eric, a 12-year-old leukemia patient in Germany. Her donation enabled Eric to undergo a critical bone marrow transplant.
I did send a card along with my marrow to Eric. I just sent prayers and little pebbles of faith and hope and love.
Lisa's donation ended up saving his life. 18 months later, Lisa would get another life-changing phone call. A leukemia telethon in Germany wanted to arrange an on-air meeting between Lisa and the young man her bone marrow had saved.
Can't even begin to tell you the feelings, the emotions. It was awesome. Eric held on to that card, and he still has it.
In order to keep programs like the Bonfils Colorado Marrow Donor Program able to do its life-saving work, we couldn't do what we do without financial support, and the United Way is an amazing organization that has been supporting us for more than a decade.
I'm just so happy that he's alive and he's doing well. He's like a third son to me. He's my little angel.
From saving lives to providing peace of mind, these 3 Comcast employees remind us how tirelessly the United Way works in our communities. Nikia, Chuck, and Lisa give to United Way to express their gratitude. By giving to the United Way, you can make a difference too.